Post-World War I life was exciting. With the start of the Roaring Twenties, people were living their best life. There was a demand for experiences from circuses to baseball games. People were filling their days with exciting activities. For the first time in many years, there was peace, and new technologies like the radio were spreading information faster than ever. Recreational destinations like Chile, Colorado camps benefited greatly from this technology, as they were able to spread the word about their program to more people than ever before. Chile is a fourth-generation summer camp nestled in the backcountry of the Rocky Mountain National Park, near Estes Park, Colorado. As a camper for the last 5 years, I have experienced firsthand how Chile's values and traditions have helped campers mature into young adults. Through analyzing primary source interviews, we will explore how Chile has and has continued to have an impact on generations. Frank wanted his campers to become good sportsmen, which he described as self-propelled, independent individuals with real character and personality. Having worked at summer camps for many years, such as the YMCA of the Rockies, Frank saw firsthand the benefits of outdoor experiences on youth. Frank always dreamed of establishing a camp based on the principles of leadership, respect, and engagement with the outdoors. He saw an opportunity in the increased demand for recreational activities of the 1920s and took full advantage. In 1926, Frank purchased and relocated a camp to Land O'Peaks Ranch near Fish Creek in Estes Park. This was an effort to give Chile, then the Bear Lake Trail School, a chance to grow. It was here that he opened Chapita, a vigorous camp for vigorous girls. Land O'Peaks Ranch had been homesteaded in 1919 by Mary Peel. This original building still stands today. Frank also commissioned Orley Pop Einweird, who, along with his brother and son, began construction on Sky High Lodge, Chapita Lodge, Totem Teepee, unit cabins, and other camp buildings.
That was Frank looked around in the early 20s. The joke is that he looked around and said, "Oh my gosh, it's getting too busy," because like 3 or 4 cars a day were coming into Bear Lake. And now there's 4.5 million that go through Rocky Mountain National Park. And so he had the foresight to really realize, wait a minute, there could be a chance if I keep building my business in Rocky Mountain National Park on leased property that they may come to me someday and say, we're not going to renew your lease. You can't keep running a business here. He wouldn't have been able to expand. It would have stayed a much smaller program. So he was brilliant in finding Land O'Peaks when he did in the mid 20s. Had he waited another 10, 15 years, we probably wouldn't have been able to acquire the property and make the move. So I would guess I'd put a pretty high percentage chance that we would not be here right now if he would have just said, you know what, we're going to be the Bear Lake Trail School and we'll keep renting this property. And at some point, like I said, Rocky Mountain National Park would have said we can't keep operating a camp here, or it's a camp for 50 boys, which would be a very different program than what we have now.
Because of the Great Depression, Chile struggled. Families weren't sending their kids to camp because they simply couldn't afford it. Most people who invested in the stock market came out with next to nothing, work was hard to find, and the increased cost of food meant that Chile couldn't feed all the campers. Some nights, rabbits were served because there was no more chicken. Campers were told to bring flashlights, batteries, film, their own rifle ammunition, and even bed sheets from home with them, because these were unavailable. Campers even had to mail in their food stamps ahead of time so that Chile could afford food for the summer.
But when the economy's harder, it's been harder. I mean, during the Depression, it was harder. I think people were, the story is people were bringing their rations coupons to camp for us to feed everybody. So we had those times. And then, right after COVID, we were the fullest we've ever been. But
even through all the hardships, camp remained camp at its core. When Frank started Chile in the 1920s, he didn't want to sit down and write a list of values. He wanted the campers to come up with those values every summer, a list of terms and words that would define the summer for that unit. The code of living is a beloved tradition at Chile. Every summer, campers in each unit come up with a list of words they want to be the norm for that year. These are not a set of rules. Campers choose to live these values every day. On the first Saturday of the term, the final code is revealed in the sign. Each camper receives their blue kerchief, a symbol of their commitment to the code. Campers decorate their BK with patches, pins, and commemorative coins. Some will put silly items that represent a special memory about camp. Campers also receive a new BK for each unit they join to symbolize a coming of age. This summer, my unit chose 5 words to represent that summer for us: inclusivity, unity, grounded, contribution, and individuality.
I think that the creating of the code of living is extremely valuable. I think that helps new people realize, wait a minute, I'm brand new here, but I can still have a say and impact the culture. I'd like the BK ceremony because that's really when we communicate to the campers that we're not new campers, we're not old campers, we're just the campers of this current summer. That's not always how things go in other communities. It's like, no, I have seniority, so I have more, more say, more power, whatever. So I love that.
With the war ending and economic stability returning, more people than ever were sending their kids to summer camps. Chile quickly took advantage of this increase in enrollment by building new cabins, bathhouses, and lodges. The emergence of the baby boomer generation also brought in higher enrollment. With more enrollment comes more opportunity. This economic boom was very similar to that occurred in the 1920s when camp first started. People were looking for ways to fill their days, and camp provided something to do. The late 2000s brought new programs like mountain biking and ceramics, as well as more advanced programs due to better ways to communicate off property, such as sat phones and inReaches. These included overnight horseback rides.
Well, sometimes campers are there for a month and y'all are working hard. Summer campers work really hard, and we don't, in the general world, don't give enough credit to that sometimes, where you have students who are going for patches and going for this big goal that they can work for. Y'all work really hard and y'all stress about some of these things. Finding programs that are just fun. Like, how do we just provide good old fun? Like seeing the growth of the mountain biking program and seeing the growth of some of these newer school things that maybe aren't in a traditional summer camp model, like archery or riding horses or stuff like that. And really leaning into the times, I think, and what's firing up students, listening to campers and seeing what's a cool, unique new experience that's maybe a little bit more new school mainstream.
The advancement of technology has had a huge impact on Chile. When campers get to Chile every year, they turn in their valuables, including phones, smartwatches, and headphones. In the 90s, campers would turn in their wallets, passports, and Discman. This rapid increase in technology has created a unique obstacle for the camping industry.
When people put that down, they're more connected. I mean, I see it in my two boys that go to camp. You're not distracted by playing games, by text coming in, by your phone ringing, whatever. So I think it's pretty neat that after 3 or 4 days that you can just see people kind of calm down because they're not worried about, oh my gosh, I got to check my Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. So they just kind of calm down and, they can sit at a table for 30 minutes and have a conversation or ride in a van for an hour. I mean,
there's been a lot of change in cell phones are a great one. That's kind of been a thing that has, obviously, I think every year you've gone to camp, you've had a cell phone. But honestly, that's new for our industry. Chile she's talking about Chile specifically. It's, 1921. That's a lot of time where they didn't have cell phones, and seeing how the camping industry has really moved into taking a lot of those external pressures out of going to camp and trying to keep that camp experience truly at its core, putting people in unique places with unique people and allowing them to grow.
The memories I have made at Chile have had a monumental impact on my life and the lives of the people around me. Every year, camp finds ways to improve who I am. It has allowed me to grow and to be flawed. People come back to Chile because it's an experience unlike any other. Many people come from places where personal reflection and growth are not emphasized nearly enough. At Chile, people choose to grow and people choose to reflect.
I mean, I think the main message for me right now is just the value of living life the way we live it at camp. It's your life is very consistent. You find this rhythm. I think it's great for the brain. It's great for just our well-being to kind of slow down and just be focused on kind of living in a community and contributing and having fun and challenging yourself and doing hard things. I think our kids that go to camp I would guess, have a higher success rate in college. They've navigated the world. They've navigated things on their own. They've learned how to join a new community and and find your place in that community. There's times that you're a leader. There's times you're a follower. There's times that you're kind of leaning on your fellow campers, and then there's times that you're the one that's providing the strength. So learning how to, I mean, your entire life you are going to join different communities and different groups, and learning that you're not, that group doesn't always need the same you in that group. Sometimes they need you to lead, and sometimes they just need you to be a contributing member, but not be the guy in charge. So I think kids are the value of someone going to camp. The world would be a better place if we could get everybody to camp and teach them how to slow down and teach them how to live in a community and teach them how to just kind of exist and not constantly be rushing all over everywhere.
Exploring the majesty of the Rocky Mountains is a highlight of my year. I get to form authentic connections with people from all over the world through unique life experiences. Chile has and will always be a part of who I am, and every person who drives along Fish Creek Road can share that sentiment.